I want to thank you for the opportunity to come into your plant and visit with you again. I hope that you appreciate the opportunity to visit with me this way as much as I appreciate the opportunity to visit with you. Before we talk about the discussion that I have planned today, I'd like to express my appreciation to all of you for the tremendous effort that you've exerted in bringing Guerdon around and creating a truly new Guerdon. We've made tremendous progress since New Year's Day, April 20th. Sales are up, receivables are down, our investment in finished goods inventories are down, the investment in raw materials inventories are down, the quality of the products is up tremendously, and most importantly, the results of our efforts have been profits for the first time in a long time, and that's the bottom line for all of us. I know whose efforts have caused these great results, and I want to express my appreciation to you for that. Last time we met, we talked about goals and actions, and many of you have submitted your goals and your action plans, and I've personally reviewed every one of them. I want you to know that the effort that's gone into those goal preparations and action plans has been outstanding, and I know personally that if you commit yourself to those goals and the action plans that you've established, that you'll reach your goals, that your lives will be better, and that the company's profits will be better. When you set your goals, commit yourself to them, your destination is assured, and most importantly, you'll know when you get there. If you don't set goals, you don't know where you're going, and you're bound to get someplace else. When you do set goals and make a firm commitment to them, then obstacles become only stepping stones to success. They don't become barriers. They don't become those unresolvable objections or things that come up that prevent you from reaching your goals. You only see them, as a matter of fact, when you take your eyes off your goal. In fact, when you've properly set your goals and committed themselves, there are no such things as problems. There's only unresolved opportunities. In the Old Testament, in the book of Proverbs, there's a statement that says, "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Or we could translate that to say, we become what we think about. Think about that. If we think about something and commit it to our heart, now we don't think with our hearts, do we? We think with our minds, but our heart is something that's deeper. And if we commit ourselves to something in our hearts, we will become what we think about. There's a psychological theory that says that the subconscious mind controls the conscious mind. I'd like to draw you an illustration and show you how this works. Does that look like one of us? Our mind is divided into two segments. Some say that we have a front portion of the mind, or the conscious portion, and some say that we have a back portion of the mind, or a subconscious or unconscious portion. Some say that that's not true at all, that the mind is really in two parts, but there's a center part that's shaped like a cigarette and controls the conscious part of our mind, and all of the gray matter around that is the unconscious or subconscious part of our mind. The important thing is that as we see things and hear things, they enter into the conscious part of our mind. All of the senses input information into the conscious part of our minds. Through the conscious part of our minds, we feed the subconscious part of our minds. We might be able to compare this to a computer. Let's say this is a computer. In the subconscious we have the program, and we load the program with information. The conscious part of our mind is the input device that loads the information in, and it's the output device that gives us the information upon which we act. The important thing to know is that the things that we load our subconscious mind with affect our conscious mind and our conscious actions. If we load our subconscious mind with good things and positive things, with goals that we hope to accomplish, then that will influence our subconscious mind, or our conscious mind, and cause us to do the things that are necessary to reach those goals. If we load our subconscious mind with negative things, with defeatism, with fear of failure, or with other information that's negative, then we will our subconscious mind will cause our conscious mind to react in a negative way, and we'll fail. So let's think positive thoughts. Let's input to our subconscious mind positive things. Let's continue to think good things. Let's think about the things we want to accomplish. Let's commit them to our hearts. And then when it comes time to act, our subconscious minds will cause us automatically to react in a positive way so that we can reach our goals. Consider, if you will, how this works. Let's take the man who smokes cigarettes and doesn't want to smoke cigarettes. What causes him to have the habit that makes him smoke a cigarette? It's being programmed in the subconscious mind that causes him to do this. Take, and I don't mean to compare this too closely, but take the mind of a pervert who has his mindset on things that he shouldn't do, and he thinks about it, and thinks about it, and thinks about it, and finally thinks about it to the point where he can't control his conscious actions, and he goes and does it. Think about the drunk, the alcoholic who wants alcohol. When he wants a drink, he will go to any lengths to get a drink. He's programmed his mind in such a way that he cannot control now his conscious actions because his subconscious is overtaken. And what we want to do is use that principle like Alexander Graham Bell did when he developed the telephone. After numerous failures, time after time he tried and tried, but he couldn't quite get it. Finally he got it. How about Edison when he created the electric light? Hundreds of failures. He learned over and over and over again how not to do it. And then all of a sudden he discovered how to do it because his mind was programmed with positive things, with goals, and he had the same determination as the drunk to accomplish his goal, but what was the result? Consider politicians. Abraham Lincoln, a great president of the United States, lost virtually every election he entered until he finally won the one for which he had a goal. Ronald Reagan, our present president, went through the same thing. He tried over and over and over again to get nominated for president and couldn't get nominated. At 69, he finally made it. He had a goal. He was committed. Consider businessmen. Lee Iacocca, how many have read his book? Lee Iacocca had a goal. He had an objective. He knew what he wanted to accomplish. He went after it. Did he have an obstacle that he couldn't overcome when he was fired at Ford? Those of you who have read his book know that he was devastated. He was relegated from the top floor luxurious ivory tower office with all of the appurtenances and secretaries and servants and dining rooms and limousines to a back office in a warehouse. Did that stop him? No, it didn't stop him because he had a goal that he was committed to accomplish in his heart. Consider Fred Huckvale, who set a goal to own and manage a major manufactured housing business many years ago. Many obstacles, and I won't take your time to tell you about all of them, but I can assure you that this pathway to whatever I've accomplished has been fraught with what other people have considered unreachable objections and obstacles, but in my mind they never were. They were only stepping stones to reach the ultimate goal. Consider people in our company, if you will. Tom Wilson, one of the most successful managers that anybody in this industry has ever been in terms of consistent profit production. Do you think Tom has a goal? Do you think he's single-minded in his accomplishment of it? Consider Mike Cappert and Ron Westerman and many others in our company who have set a goal, committed to it in their hearts, and have stuck to it over the years until they've risen to great heights of success. And think about yourself. Where do you stand? Are you meandering down the path of life, getting someplace but you're not sure where? Or do you have goals that you're committed to in your heart, and are you on a direct path to reach those goals? And do you know when you're going to get there? If you set your goals and committed them in your heart, you're going to know when you get there. Remember, you become what you think about. You can do it. You can be what you want to be. All you have to do is decide what you want to be and where you want to go, and then think about it, and I guarantee you'll get there. There's one thing you have to do in order to do that. You have to overcome the will to fail. You know what the will to fail is? It's the salesman who knocks on the door and says, "I hope nobody's home." It's the salesman who calls on the telephone and says, "I hope nobody's there." It's the actor who stands before the audience and says, "I know I'm going to forget my lines." Everybody has within them a will to fail. The only way we can succeed is to overcome the will to fail by picturing ourselves in a position of success. If we're an actor, picturing ourselves delivering our lines in such a manner that the audience is captivated. If we're a salesman, picturing ourselves selling that person and not being able to wait until he answers the door, not hoping that he doesn't answer the door. Look for the ways to do things, not for the excuses and the reasons why you can't do them. How many times have we heard, "Well, I didn't get that done because he wasn't there, the phone was busy," or something else, as if the objective was just to make a telephone call, not to accomplish the reason for making the telephone call. So don't give up when things get in your way. Continue on and look for ways to accomplish things, and don't wait. Do it now. Self-confidence is the key. Once you've established these goals, and once you've committed them to your heart, and once you've pictured yourself in a position of success after having accomplished that goal, you will have the self-confidence, you'll have the personal knowledge that you can accomplish those things, and then you can do it. You can accomplish everything you want to accomplish. So, go for it. Remember this: if you think you can, you will. Success is more than the combined results of individuals. It is the teamwork, working with and helping others, that turns individual accomplishments into a winning organization.